The entire time I knew Thanos, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe.
We are out of time. The end is near. Get tickets now.
Hi, I'm your kid critic, Jack Mooney, and welcome to the Jack Mooney Show. And in today's video, I am going over Avengers Infinity War. I'm going to be doing a spoiler review. And yes, I know Thanos demands your silence, but I needed to do a spoiler review because this movie is really epic and the best MCU movie. After Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok, I kind of gave up on the MCU, but this really, brought me back to really enjoying this universe. It's the best by far in the universe. So let's get going. We are entering spoiler territory. I have a list right here saying my positives and my negatives. I have like 8 positives I want to talk about and only 2 negatives I want to talk about. So we'll start with the positives. And the first thing I'm going to go over is, let's just start off right when the movie starts. The opening. I think this is the best Marvel opening of all time, especially one of the best superhero movie openings of all time. You get right into the action. You see how badass Thanos is. Right away, Heimdall, Idris Elba, and Loki get killed. And it's a really intense scene. Chris Hemsworth is showing off his emotional acting chops. Same with Tom Hiddleston. Hulk is pretty fun in that scene. And it's a really dark, gruesome scene. And I remember turning to my friend, because I saw the movie twice, and when we saw it opening night, I just looked at him and I'm like, holy shit, what the hell just happened? That's so crazy. So I love the opening of the movie. It really set the stage. Okay, now I want to go into more of the technical stuff, and that's I really enjoyed the cinematography, the lighting, the CGI. There's a scene where Thanos and Gamora go to find the Soul Stone, and the guardian of the Soul Stone is Red Skull, which was amazing. It was so awesome to see him. But the lighting in that scene, when you see it, is so spectacular and something that you would never think would be in a Marvel movie. It just was gorgeous. And then, sadly, Thanos has to kill Gamora to get the Soul Stone. That was an incredibly emotional scene. The editing was a little weird. They were doing some fade-outs, but, it's a Marvel movie. Who cares? And when Thanos wakes up, he's in this lake, and the Soul Stone is in his hand, and he stands up, and there's a shot of him and his planet above. It was just incredibly well shot and well edited. The lighting was spectacular. I can't say and show you how much I love this movie and the technical aspects of how cool it was. So that was cool. There was also a scene at the very end where he has this flashback. Not really a flashback, but like a dream of some sort of him with little Gamora. And she asks, did you do it? Because Thanos does get all the stones, and he snaps his finger. We'll talk about what happens in a minute. And he says yes, and he looks really emotional. He's conflicted. He knows he killed his daughter, and he knows he just wiped out half of humanity. And just, they were walking on water. It just was so beautiful to look at that. This sound mixing, sound editing, I'm going to say makeup and visual effects, this should win all of those at the Oscars next year. It's definitely the best technical Marvel movie by far.
What happened?
Oh! Wipers! Wipers! Get it off!
How's this dude still alive? He is not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man.
And then now I really want to talk about the ending because I just brought it up. And this ending will leave you speechless. I definitely wasn't expecting it. And I remember when what happens, Thanos gets the stones and he snaps his fingers and people start kind of like similar to how Voldemort died in Deathly Hallows Part 2. These people kind of like fade away into dust or whatever, and these little flakes. And when Thanos gets all the stones, snaps his fingers, people start fading away. And major characters that do that, Bucky, Falcon, Groot, Star-Lord, I'm trying to think, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, a lot of characters fade away, and the saddest one was Spider-Man. He was like, "No, Mr. Stark, no, I don't want to die." Because technically they are dying, and we know they will be back, but in the moment it was very emotional, especially emotional for me to see Spider-Man and Groot fading away. That was just... I got some tears in my eyes. I got a little misty-eyed during that. It was really sad. So just how the directors, the Russo directors, who have grown as directors. Civil War was not my favorite. I did not like that one that much. And to see them come to this, it's just incredible. They did a phenomenal job directing this and combining all these stories and these characters together. It was amazing. What I especially loved about the ending is that there's no music in the background. It's just thunder. And it was just really well done that it's silent and there's this terror in the background, and to show the emotion on people's faces and no dialogue, basically. It just really was incredible, and especially, like what I said, the thunder really made it an incredibly moving scene. What I really did like, though, is Doctor Strange says this was the only way, because he thought about different options of like, what are we going to do to make sure, like, to have a good outcome, and giving Thanos the Time Stone was the only good outcome. So that was a very important line. And also, the last line from an Avenger was from Cap, who he just said, "Oh no." So, you don't know what he's thinking. Basically, like, he's realizing, like, shit, we gotta fix this. Which leads to Avengers 4. And then the last shot of the movie is this gorgeous music from a violin, and Thanos looking out into the nature. It really stresses, like, that's what he wanted. And the movie ends. And it was just an incredible ending. I know I keep saying incredible and wonderful, because that's what the movie is. It's great. What I want to touch on at the end is Thanos, badass villain. He is the best MCU villain by far. He's terrifying. He's scary. Josh Brolin does a wonderful job. He really becomes Thanos. Even though it's motion capture, he just killed it. And you can see how terrifying he is to many people, and that he is a really big threat to the Avengers. I never thought Marvel could have a good villain until I saw this. He's almost as good as Heath Ledger, and people were going to be like, Jack, but he is. He's really good. Other characters are like Doctor Strange. I didn't like the movie, but he was pretty awesome in this. Iron Man, I always think Robert Downey Jr. kills it as that role. Spider-Man, I think Tom Holland is hilarious. Him and his movie references. Thor, even though I didn't like Thor Ragnarok, I still thought he was pretty funny in this movie. And I loved it when he teamed up with the Guardians. And the Guardians, by the way, they're great as always. I love Drax and Rocket and Groot. They're so funny and they're hilarious. And yeah, it's a really good movie. The only negatives I would say is that Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, War Machine, those guys, Bucky even, they're barely in the movie. So if you're like a big Cap fan, can't wait to see Cap. What you saw in the trailers is basically what you're going to get. It's mostly the Guardians, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor. Those are basically the leads of the movie. And Thanos, of course. So that was an issue. I wish they would have given those characters more screen time. And then the movie gets a little clunky in the middle, especially when they first go to see, when Thor and Rocket and Groot first go to see Peter Dinklage's character. It gets a little slow around there, but then it starts to build up some steam soon. So there's only 20, 30 minutes where it gets a little slow, but I'd say for the most part, it's really smooth and it goes by fast and you have a fun time. It's an experience that you will remember. I remember seeing the first Avengers, and I think I will remember seeing this Avengers too. So, if I'd give it a grade, I think I would give it an A minus. It's not perfect, but it's still a great time, a great summer blockbuster. And yeah, I'm excited for more summer movies. Deadpool 2, Solo, Ocean's 8, Jurassic World, The Incredibles, Ant-Man, Mission Impossible, The Meg. Yeah, it's going to be a fun movie season, and yeah, it started off with a bang. Okay, I'm your kid critic, Jack Mooney, and have a great day at the movies.